Hello, everybody, and welcome back to M&J Games. I am Michael. Now, today we're looking at a very sci-fi style park that is created by TWI2 TIDK Town 88. I just didn't want to mispronounce it in some way, so I just went ahead and spelled it out. And this is called Planet X, and this was recommended to me by the creator on the Facebook page. And the description of this park says extreme heights, as you can see, extreme speed, and there are four coasters: the Raven, the Storm, Raven's Revenge, and the Cyclone. So I'm really excited to kind of get into this park because this is one that I haven't really reviewed a style like this where it's very, very overly sci-fi in a way, and I don't mean that in a bad way, and I hope that didn't come across bad, but also with the coasters, extremely large coasters to where they're not the most realistic, but it looks awesome in terms of what the game allows you to do. So right away, you can kind of see at the entrance here, we've got the very kind of deserty style rocks and stuff. And so since when I loaded this park up at night, I'm assuming this is definitely one to be looked at night. So right away, you can see this coaster kind of going over the entrance. And this is just another example, and I know I say this a lot, but another example why this game's so great, because everybody plays it differently. And so as you're going to see going through this, like, there's a lot of really good theming, a lot of craziness to it, a lot of unrealisticness to it, but that doesn't matter, right? Because not everybody plays the game the same way, and so it looks really cool the way that it's been done. And I haven't ridden all the four coasters yet before filming this. I just rode one to kind of test it out and see, and it was pretty darn good coaster. So very, very large in terms of the scale compared to real life, but really, really well done. And so you can see, I like this little, it's almost like a little mall type space, kind of walking into the main park. And I love the kind of glass that's been used. And you're going to see a lot of kind of crazy colors and stuff. But that's just kind of what this park's about. And so as you can see, there's a lot going on here in terms of coasters and sci-fi pieces in the background. And then I like the mixture of using these, gosh, what are these? The Adventure Pack, whatever those are called, to kind of light up the paths and stuff. So I think that's a good mix right there. And obviously we've got this massive coaster here. And this is also a good touch of using the catwalk, just so that when it's over, like, that is a bit of realism right there. You're using the catwalk so that when you're, now technically there wouldn't necessarily be the catwalk in real life, but at the same point, when guests are walking over it, there's nothing that could fall off. And already we see some, whoop, there goes the coaster. What kind of coaster is that? Oh, that's the wing coaster. Okay. Because I was wondering why the catwalk was on both sides. Okay, cool. And so you can already see some of the like crazy over the top sci-fi scenes, but it's really kind of gives it a cool atmosphere as you're entering the park, because everybody here is fighting. So you got people fighting here, whoop. And nobody's hurting each other. But yeah, this is cool. So then right when you get in here now, you see the massive coaster to the left, but then we also see this really well lit up, really bright flat ride, which the guests never seem to want to ride, because here's the queue, and the queue goes over the path. And I don't know, I can't remember. Let me see real quick. Yeah, so this is at 59%. So I think the creator plays on a PS4, so there still is a little bit of space, because that's one critique that I do have a little bit, is just there's some of the cues and stuff aren't really, not that it has to be decorated. Like, I'm terrible at theming, but some of them are just a little bit blank, if that makes sense. So we're gonna go to the right this time, and you already see that massive kind of like spaceship type thing, and so as we go up here, really, really cool. So I wonder if this is. So I wonder if that was a piece that you made, or if these came in the game. Because I'll be honest, I don't really use the sci-fi pieces much. So I don't know if that was something that's been created, or if that was like an in-game piece or somebody made on the workshop. But either way, it does look cool, and especially that tunnel. And so on some of these rides, you will see some stuff floating in the air, but that's just to kind of, like up there, right? It's supposed to, I believe, kind of be like a spaceship or something, right? So here's the queue for the first coaster. Which coaster is this? This is called the Raven. And so here's kind of an example of what I was talking about, where you got some trees and stuff, but you've got these elevated paths. And I mean, you could have used some of that counter to kind of create different supports for them and stuff. Um, just to where it's different than these ugly monstrosities that the game gives you for those supports. And I like the use of the station here. You're utilizing these. What piece is this? Sick city window shop. And so it's cool how it's kind of all glass and see through. And so this is a really kind of uniquely done queue or station building, which is nice. Oh, you got the sharks dangling around there. And there we got the spaceship tunnel. Here comes the coaster. Yeah, so one thing too that I have a question about is, did you intentionally make the station this long so that you could fit 3 trains, or do you know how to use block sections? That'd be one question that I have. And because I've got a tutorial on my channel over block sections, to where you wouldn't, because all your stations are really long in this park, and I don't know if that's done by design, because it may have been by design. But there is a way that you can have a shorter station but still run 2 to 3 trains. It's all about setting up block sections. All right, while we go up this chain real quick, all green, so that's good. So really high on the vertical G's, so that's probably too narrow of a incline or decline at one point. The negative G forces are high. Biggest drop, 286 feet. That would be insane on a wing coaster. So let's enjoy the coaster. That was really good. Like, it was really, really tall compared to how these would really be in real life, but super smooth. That's one of the smoothest wing coasters I've seen created in the game. And I thought it was interesting that you carry these around the entire way. I wonder if there's a particular reason for that, or you just like the look of it. But yeah, that was an awesome coaster. Obviously, like I said before, I mean, this is, I love my realism coasters, but then I also love when you can kind of see over the top, really large coasters, just because it allows you to kind of create things or see things in the game that's different than in real life, right? Um, realism coasters are great, but sometimes realism coasters don't seem like they go too fast. And so it's really cool to see a wing coaster that's normally about 150 feet to be about twice that size. So that's really cool. So one thing I want to check real quick is if I were to edit this, because I want to make sure that, so you got drive tires. Oh, hold on. So all you would need to do here, okay, so it is a block section. Okay, so that's block section. So what you could do is you could turn this section right here into a block section as well. Turn this one into, it can't be drive tires. All right, hold on a second. So what you could do is turn this right here into just brakes, trim brakes. Turn this one right here into a block section like we've done. And then for this one, what you can actually do, because since that's overly large, is you can make this a block section right here. Let's see. And then you can, so shorten this up, and then we can make this trim brakes. Hold on. There we go. So now what you can do is, and like I said, I don't know if you know how to do this already and you just wanted to have kind of the longer station, but now what you can do is you can look here and you can go from standard to block sectioned. And then you could even have 3 trains on here now if you wanted to. I mean, I wouldn't suggest having 3 trains, but these trains kind of back each other up, right? Wait, hold on. Oh, that's just one train. Hold on. Where's the 3rd train? Where would that be at? So you can see now what's going to happen is this coaster goes, and then this one goes right here. And once it gets to the top of the lift hill, it's going to wait for, let's just kind of test this out and see, because I'm interested to see how this goes too. So now that one goes, this one goes out of the station. Is there another lift hill? Yep. So see, it works perfectly because there's a second lift hill in the coaster, and then it comes back into the station. And so with the way you design this coaster, this actually works perfectly to have 3 coasters on the track if you wanted to. And so that's all my suggestion is using block sections. But I do like the detail you have in here with the metal alloy square pieces. That's a good touch too. I think it's a really cool station. So let's move on. But like I said, really good coaster. Really good. So now if we continue going to the right, once again, love the continuation of these lights. Or not really lights, this fire. Oh, we got a launch coaster. Oh yeah, this one looks insane. I mean, just like, look at that massive inversion. That looks awesome. All right, so this was the exit, actually. So let's go back down this way then. So we need to come around this way. Yeah, and I like how you got all the seating here. I like how you put the lights in between there. And the only question I have is, where's the food at? Because they don't really sit down unless there's food, at least in my experience. But I like the water feature here. You got the skull's head. That's a really, really cool touch. I probably would just move those down a little bit further. It's kind of, that's so weird how it looks like that. Why is it? Are those above the water? Oh, that's why. Yeah, so I would just move this. So you can just move it under the water now, where it still gives that splashing, but you're not actually seeing the panels. Gosh, that weirded me out for a second. So there was the, okay, so we just walked right here. There was the Raven. And then here's the Gax Coaster. I like how you've used the terrain for this kind of entrance. You know, you can add a little rocks too or something to kind of give it that extra little bit of detail. But this is, I'm expecting another crazy, awesome coaster that would be so intense in real life. Once again, same kind of style with the building, except this one's a little bit more majestic and large. And same thing here, you know, you could just use block sections back there and stuff. So Raven's Revenge. We got the Raven and the Raven's Revenge. That's probably why they're generally the same color. While we're waiting, all green again, so good job with that. G-force is definitely a little bit higher with the lateral. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, 630-foot drop. This is about to be insane. my gosh. Whoa. Oh my gosh, could you imagine? Could you? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. 139 miles an hour. And then you launched it back into the station. I gotta admit, that is awesome. That's awesome right there. That you gave it a little launch back into the station instead of just drive tires or something. But, oh my gosh. Like, right there. And then you've also got your catwalk. I don't know how they're going to get up there. But man, this was, like, once again, I mean, there are a couple parts that weren't as smooth as the previous ride, but that's more due to the fact that you're going at 139 miles per hour because of this massive hill. And I like how you've got all these sharks down here, kind of bringing in that extra terror of what if you fall in there with the sharks? And there's a lot of them too, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy that like even this inversion over here, that when I saw it, I was like, that is a massive inversion. It was still going too fast through that because of the speed that it picked up. And so, I mean, your coasters are crazy and extreme and unrealistic in the sense of height and stuff. But my goodness, you do a good job with them. Like really smooth. And like I said, the couple moments that aren't as smooth is simply because it's the coaster's going way too fast in that moment. But that's kind of the point of these coasters, right? Is for them to be super extreme. So really enjoyed that. That hill, just nothing else to say. I do think the Raven though is my favorite so far because I think that was a really, really, really good coaster. Okay, so we got a flat ride, little flat ride that looks good. And then we got a little walk area in here with, once again, I'll just put some food in here. Because you got all these seats around in your park, and guests aren't really going to sit down unless they've got food. I mean, they might a little bit, but... Uh-oh, right as I say that, they sit down. There you go, Michael. But, no, yeah, I definitely would add some kind of food and stuff. So now this is the Storm. Okay. I don't know what kind of coaster this is. I know the last one we're going to ride is a wooden coaster, which was the one that I'd ridden before. So this is kind of cool how you did the dual like level and layers. I just feel like you could have done some work with the terrain, doing rock work and different stuff like that. But it is really cool how it's kind of has that like 3 levels to it. Oh no, this is the wooden coaster, the Storm. Okay. Yeah, this is the wooden monster coaster. So if we look at the stats before we get rolling, results, 309-foot wooden coaster. Woo! That is quite the drop. G-forces, vertical G-force is really good. Laterals are a little bit higher. Max speed, that's crazy. A 300-foot drop doesn't even go 100 miles per hour with the wooden coaster. But I guess it doesn't really with the B&Ms either. So really long coaster, ready to get this started. Any day now. Oh, sorry about that. You know, I feel like let's try this one in let's try it in seat view. Or not, if they're gonna put their hands up like that. So we'll do front bumper. All right, so sorry, I turned my mic off while we're on the coaster, so that's why it took a second to get the mic back on. But I mean, once again, really smooth coaster. The only area that wasn't smooth was probably due to the fact that you had a 300-foot drop on this wooden coaster, and you know, maybe leveling this out a little bit more. You could even make this hill even steeper if you wanted to. But I think it was really just here that kind of created the high lateral G's, because you're going 97 miles per hour and you go right into an upward helix. Like, the amount of G-forces that would cause would be crazy, but it's awesome at the same time. Now, we got one last coaster to look at in this park, and then I'll make sure that we didn't miss any details. Yeah, it looks like, so once again, we got this really big spaceship in the center. There's just a lot of this sci-fi stuff put around as kind of like scenery on the coasters and stuff. But these are definitely extreme. I wonder how much money it would cost to build a wing coaster that was that tall. I think normal wing coasters are like $30 million, so how much would that one cost? That would be crazy. So this last one, I have no idea what type of coaster this is. So once again, kind of carrying that color throughout the park, which is nice. I like this little detail on this station. Okay, so this one's called Cyclone. So as we wait for the coaster to get back in the station, I like the kind of shaping of that first little bit up there. That looks cool. Oh, I don't even know if I really realize this over here. You got like a UFO up here. That's a cool touch. Really cool touch. Oh, so this is the Anubis coaster. And I could tell by the supports there, because they're the only coaster in the game that has that kind of support. So if we look at the stats real quick, the results, biggest drop 202 feet. So this is a small coaster. G-force is great. So let's get ready to rumble. Oh, nope, didn't mean to click on that person. So once again, this coaster doesn't invert or go upside down. Has anybody seen Billy Madison? Today, Junior. You know, there's some things in movies sometimes that you see and you laugh at when you're younger, and then when you become an adult and you're a teacher, you realize, yeah, I shouldn't have been laughing at that. All right, good coaster. Kind of came into the back portion of it a little bit fast, but overall, really good coaster. I think there's just one part where you could have banked the turn a little bit more. Like I think it was right here, just bank it a little bit more. But overall, good coaster, and like the hill's nice, the layout. I didn't realize that too at the beginning that these were two separate coasters here. I think it's just because of how the color of the coaster track is the same. So now let's look at this at daytime real quick, and then we'll wrap up the tour. So as you can see, very, very colorful coasters to say the least. You got the pink right there. Are these coasters all the... Okay, so these are actually different colors. They just look the same at night. Yeah, they're definitely different colors. Um, and then if we go this way, and it's weird at nighttime. I didn't even realize that was the blue pathing. Interesting. But yeah, I didn't really see much food or anything in this park, if at all. So that's one thing I would add. And you know, I know there's some things when creating parks that are more tedious to do, um, like I hate doing lighting. Absolutely hate it. I don't know why, but it just drives me crazy. But yeah, so here's what it looks like in the daytime, like I said, and you did a good job with the terrain, kind of having all this kind of unique terraforming where you kind of build boundaries to the park. And so overall, I mean, really, you know, it's a very unrealistic park in the sense of you're not going to see a park like this in real life. But you did a great job making the coasters. They're all a lot of fun to ride. I still think the Raven's probably my favorite, the first one, because I thought even though it's super tall, like it was really good coaster. Um, it was just on a much larger scale than what you would see. But I mean, really good use of the sci-fi pieces. I would just say, you know, maybe adding in some more flat rides somewhere and adding in some food places. And I mean, you had a little bit more percentage to where you could have done a little bit more with some of the queues. But like I said, I mean, this is a really fun park to look at. And everybody make sure to go download and rate on the Frontier Workshop. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel so that you can stay up to date with all the content that we release with M&J Games. And thank you guys so much for all the continued support and for just helping make this community great. For those of you that are on the Discord, on Facebook, who just comment on here on YouTube and stuff like that and give suggestions, guys, really appreciate it. And if you ever want to have your park showcased, just let me know, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.